Pissed me off. Yeah, it really pissed me off.
That's one of Star Trek's biggest names. And he's not the only one who's furious, because what just went down inside Paramount's headquarters is the kind of thing that doesn't happen in Hollywood. Not like this. Not at this scale, and definitely not led by the people who did it. Star Trek's most iconic actors, the people who built this franchise from the ground up, walked into a room full of Paramount executives last week and delivered the most savage ultimatum in the history of the franchise. Fix this. Fire the people responsible, or we burn it all down publicly. And Paramount, for the first time in nearly a decade of running Star Trek into the ground, blinked. This is not a rumor. This is not fan speculation. According to multiple sources with direct knowledge, this happened. And what was said in that room is so explosive that people inside Paramount are still talking about it in whispers. Here's what you need to understand first. This didn't come out of nowhere. This has been building like pressure in a warp core for years. Every bad show, every canceled fan favorite, every tone-deaf interview from Alex Kurtzman about the message of Star Trek, every time the audience scores cratered while executives pointed at critic reviews like a shield. All of it was building toward this moment. The fuse got lit at the Saturn Awards on March 8th. Star Trek got inducted into the Hall of Fame for its 60th anniversary. Sounds nice, right? Except what actually happened was this. William Shatner, the original Captain Kirk, 94 years old, recovering from a shattered shoulder, asked for a chair because he was in pain, and still showed up. Jonathan Frakes was there, Brent Spiner, Robert Picardo, the royalty of Star Trek, all in one room. And then Alex Kurtzman took the microphone and gave a speech about the message of Star Trek. Not the storytelling, not the characters, not the exploration, the message. He stood on a stage honoring Gene Roddenberry's legacy and essentially confirmed that he views the franchise as a vehicle for political commentary rather than great science fiction. Sources say the legacy cast members were livid, not publicly. They smiled for the cameras. They clapped politely. But backstage, different story entirely. According to insiders, the Saturn Awards became the detonator. Shatner, Frakes, Spiner, Picardo, and several other legacy actors had already been talking privately for weeks, comparing notes, sharing frustrations, discovering that every single one of them had the same concerns about where Star Trek was heading. But hearing Kurtzman talk about the message on stage, while Starfleet Academy was tanking in the ratings, while every production had been shut down, while the franchise was literally in freefall, that was apparently the moment where private frustration became organized action. Within days of the Saturn Awards, the group requested a meeting with Paramount executives. Not a casual lunch, not a phone call. A formal sit-down meeting at Paramount's offices, and they brought receipts. Let's talk about what actually happened in that room. Because the details coming out of this meeting are absolutely savage. The veterans didn't show up with vague complaints. They showed up with a case file, show by show, failure by failure, number by number. Discovery, declining every season until cancellation.